la princess UBI mo ku mistures wesna lwe dozuri mana ndo vuzu mistures wesna lwe dozuri simo me rwanda ma amuje zini bombe batex initiative de mbaba okukimba sabuni data kisengoni basani reusable sanitary pads ki so izo anti pini ngona rasko na mzo anti tiki skulu hapo saa zinsi ya walikisi member vini yufu kipo Toyota Uganda beba mutka kimba ngo mutka kide ngoni ba mutka kit maruti ran kiba ngoni afadiki Pacis of Toyota Uganda afadi agbariri 90% of cars in Uganda are Toyota cars. Now kama kudinga daba tiyo mani paso zumman tenga zumma ekari ikili mefinda toko o kori eriyo loni vuri institutions loni fetu wa kuwe nidi bazi banya wita igimadi yako institutions ni mga mokuke inza akali muke wa kuwe ni empowerment feria ikane sende mini du loni du midu kane elifuturu alwani mini ngolfenya aruda ichota edadansi mini te du elifuturu aluda indete afamani lerba maba yuta institutions sende febo wa kuwe nidi madia mempa wake wa kuke wa dasi adini amokuwe inzazo azingazo yenini ku iyo irivuri unemployment ni ikane Uganda adi anzi la kiskura amazin la kiskuru cha deku tegen iyo employment vurisi tedi yozuba mempa baki on hands on skills bazi yeni yoni kiku miga ba maniti pe doa mupe maditepi parliamentary ki iyo ni madi yeni nzeba yeni chachatia luza siri ikipas ikiawi takwati adi anile askunbala lukacha parliament abo bala luni yo ye ale temutka ambudi lerize ale josi ekudia adini divini representation niku bala ludi position etema president ni yodi adle ma bipi ba ndinga mili amvedale eyo ambu ndeni mana andi nzelo ya ruma ya wali eriyo city vuri mati maru Alex Obiai mandi maru Margaret kutwa ingazo mani besa county ya lufi ya revenue teba sama tiki mandu da mavu kujeda eyo di sasa si city rubo city mali aba sani avoku kini city ni task force investors ke muimu ikimu bayo take lele ki lufi ya revenue zeda woro banga mini kini nza vudari ji sakala bayo dinga sadisi andra di abani budget mayo nyari ameri safa desert bilizi adia kini aruwa masiki badaka wate ndepi afrikani tene iri sabu region at nivinata regional city ni kwa wade malia ba fe 14 billion te gulumi ne mbranga oda gula manzega mini aringa tisika gulumi ba fe 41 billion who is fooling who here sende bani fe 14 iringa mama usiti adadia mi yoba ina amvela lekini midi development midi service closer to people ikaneba sub countries area visa sima azira elsi zinakisa disiyo elsi toikisa disiyo mukungu isa disiyo badinga mwazinga ngoni sub countries mini ridinga sub countries madiba de italia sub countries andra amvedi azira ivoire itasa disafaloro ba vidi mazite badinga mogugu keke nganya ndoya dangadi ya lori eyo irizore ikadine city mali da baba ba pressure madai mangu ilizizo bani tena yo baba di melizi mangu diki nikini land act ku alu afamavu ya wudu kudin afa Uganda diari mi citizen ni mitote mi mangu ilizi liziku miteka ni afa customary land ownership issue te ba fe ba ina mangu ilizi pressure sikini kami mangu ilizi ku embodu alembazi ni banga mi drama mavadi ma residence angu ni nini ba drama kwa simelizi mangu ku eyo di mani vini te diari di ground rent ni move te ba diani ningedo domini simi iri masende ofe gametevu revenue bani suda ni muzu activities city vuri ki yezo empa ba ki kui policies ngo bani ba ya bani yozu kini city ninga KCC act lele ACC evuaru ovu diari ngoi policy da iyo banga city di rani ngoni agani city ko ale city di masaiz ba mesi di ra ale manzi kini yokini menga lu forever adini kini menga wadi di malia sele di malia ndiku amasuru wa ivu di sasa avira manzo rikokoro aziki ati patu chamvio lady kini ya ivu me iruni aka mai ma tibe yo mvuni nze inga madira mai mini rede mini madizu ale lu rikokoro o rikokoro ivu mambaro mama nze odi mbangba mama kuyo ground rent ivu kini en pala economically rakaka mi city dindo rom basi endre lo du aloni ko kampale do gari kanena mgongo nyamve mengo nyamve pa fe city di wala kanina diezo ni family vini city fezo de ki they are not economically empowered badi kinga mu household income isungoni
eyo azi amani direka kwa pezero maziki ayota mabuto bitani enze tadi eyo ayota madira andira ayota mabredi arisani aziki karaka daleti leki eyo nzera
eyo azi yo ni
mama bala de dika amanga bala de dem
mama nanga sira manga bala da tumi beta chacha eyo azi kokoro banze yo ngba urikoko.
Thank you very much. I did not understand the majority of what the comrade said, but I agree with them. I just want to conclude.
Ya raki muke kute ini ki redo adine dia ye ki data te kudi utata fifi bani dia de.
Yes, that one. Now I want to conclude with a call, a clarion call upon all Ugandans.
Ale den zedene bakia iso.
We as a generation.
No
matter what you do, not only those that are running for office, of course I salute these honorable colleagues who are running for office. Running for office under this dictatorship is a challenge, so I salute them. But I want to call upon all Ugandans, whether you are a doctor or you are a teacher, or a journalist, everybody, it is upon us as a generation to create a country that we will be proud of. You as journalists, you don't want to be beaten for doing your work. As a doctor, you don't want to be like my mother who was a nurse, but she died at the hospital floor at the reception in Mulago when she got an accident. You don't want to be a teacher like the teachers in Karamoja that are suffering and begging on the street because of COVID-19. You don't want to be in this current Uganda. So this that we are doing is a revolutionary call. Let us all come together and decide the kind of country that we want to turn grey in, a country that we want to grow old in, a country that we want our children and our children's children to inherit. This is the time for us to make this mark. So I want to call upon everybody, come out and vote for this election. Come out and vote, but don't only vote. Make sure that you stay and guard the vote. It is legal, it is acceptable, and it is doable. We've done it in Chadondo, in Jinja, in Ujiri, in Rukunjiri, and yes, we did it here in Arua, and it worked. This is our time to do it all over the country. This 35-year-old dictatorship has nothing anymore to offer to our generation. You cannot kill my past and my present and then you joke about securing my future. Your future is in your hands, the young people of Uganda. It is better for us to work it out now so that we don't wake up one day and we wonder and our children are asking us what we were doing when our country was going south. I am very glad that our generation is connected, whether you are girl or boy, whether you're male or female, whether you're rich or poor, no matter your religion, no matter your tribe. We are all united by our pains and our aspirations for a new Uganda. So let us come together and lead this country to the promised land, which we are very, very sure we can and will achieve. For God and my country, I thank you.
Thank you,
People power.
And I want to say that our time in the studio is up. And listener, I want to also appreciate you for keeping your dial on Radio Pacis. And I want to say,
This is a new Uganda, not the old one.
yeah, we just want to make sure that this is not a lip service, but
Let me enjoy that privilege.
Yes.
Now, my brother Abdulai was asking the program that we have for the different districts. Of course, I can't completely elucidate all that, but I would say generically that we are going to have eco-budgeting in terms of the basics: health, education, infrastructure, and agriculture. In terms of health, I've already said it and I'll say it again, that at least for every sub-county, we should have a maternity, a fully-fledged maternity ward. Because I'm personally so passionate, and I'm sure the majority of Ugandans are passionate about mothers who die while giving birth. This is changeable, this is doable, we are going to do it. Why? Because we'll just follow the Maputo Protocol and the Abuja declarations. We are signatory to these documents which documents say that the signatory governments will at least appropriate 15% of their annual budget to healthcare. This is not a favor. We are doing this for our mothers, our daughters, our aunties, our children, and we shall focus on women and children in the healthcare. Same thing with education. Same thing with infrastructure. I've already said it that we are focusing mainly on the feeder roads, because this is where the produce comes from, especially the agricultural produce. So we should be able to empower our common people. As simple as that. Forget this business of Museveni saying middle age income by 2015. It's as simple as bettering the infrastructure. We talked about zoning the country. When I was growing up, there was so much cash crop and food crop coming, especially from West Nile, cotton, etc. I don't see that anymore. We are not going to reinvent the wheel. This has been done before, and this is a matter of going back to where it started failing and then fixing it. And of course, most importantly, for these areas, it is not the president to know everything. These areas elect leaders. It is the duty of my brother, or the Honorable Jadribo. It is the duty of my sister, Princess Obia. It is the duty of Salim. It is the duty of my brother, Ajikobwa, to ensure that they bring forth the challenges of their districts, of their constituencies. That is why we elect leaders. Okay? And that is why I want to encourage people to hold their leaders accountable. These leaders, you're going to elect them, but hold them accountable. Ensure that your challenges are the challenges that they bring forth. So that is basically our plan for the rural districts where we don't reach. Now, a brother asked about salaries of the LCs. Yes, LCs should be paid. How much they're going to be paid, that should be discussed. But LCs should be paid because they are leaders. By not paying leaders who we expect to offer services, that is why you see the rampant corruption. A brother also asked about the red beret. For starters, the Electoral Commission and the entire government of Uganda is acting very illegal. We wear the red beret because there's no law that stops us from wearing the red beret. You see, the Museveni regime is so backward and it's so old school. They are copycats, and they're even fake copycats. Why? Because we are artists, we are creative. We came up with the red beret and the red overall. And these cowards said the red overall looks like a military uniform and the red beret looks like a military uniform. Of course they were lying. But again, they started arresting people. And as if that's not shameful enough, the Electoral Commission refused to accept our pictures to appear on the ballot with the red beret because they knew they would lose terribly. Now, in their wisdom or lack of it, they thought that by stopping us from wearing the red beret on the ballot, it will kind of decrease our chances of winning them. So, Mr. Byabakama shamelessly refused us from wearing the beret. They said we cannot wear a hat, but Museveni can wear a hat. because we always major on majors and minor on minors, we said, no problem, we are young people. We look even cute without the red beret. So we provided our pictures without the red beret. And that explains why today we show up with our clear face so that people can see us and not get mistaken when they get on the ballot without seeing the red beret. But you saw quite a number of young people were wearing the red beret, and I encourage them to wear that red beret because it is a symbol of resistance. Of course, ultimately, when we have already overthrown this dictatorship, we shall have the freedom to dress the way we want to dress.
Even in shorts.
Even in shorts. You know, we shall wear anything we want because we are free. We are not defined by what we wear. One should be, for us, we'll be judging somebody by the content of their character, not the fashion of their attire. That is what I believe.
Okay.
A brother also talked about our manifesto. We actually have one manifesto. We don't have two manifestos. But we will do much more than is in our manifesto. Our manifesto is our promise to the people of Uganda. But again, we are going to be a people-centered government. So we want to be hearing from the people. We are going to be servants and not bosses. The people, the voters are the bosses. And when they say we want this, that is exactly what we shall do, especially if it benefits them.
Okay.
So we will be servant leaders. A brother in Moyo was talking about tarmac. Unfortunately, I was not getting him clearly, but I just want him to know that working on roads is not a favor from government.
What is it then?
It is a responsibility. No leader uses their personal money. That is your money, lady or gentleman who is listening to me. That is your money. Okay? So we the leaders are not giving, we're actually not doing you a favor to give you services. That is why you pay us. That is why you vote us. That is why we move in these luxurious cars on your money. So you should hold us accountable. The government is doing you no favor. They are supposed to do that and more.
Okay.
A brother also asked what we are going to do about the bias of the Abakama and how we plan to go about it. I heard you were sounding scared. I say, I hope you have your facts. Well, my name is Kyagulanyi Sentamu Obini, and I'm telling you that Mr. Abakama is biased. Okay? The Electoral Commission is biased. They are biased because they have been silent. They have double standards. Museveni is a candidate. He came in with more people than we came in.
Well, those are views you hold as an individual.
But these are facts, my brother. These are not views, these are facts. And don't try to stop me from saying facts because I want to be held accountable for saying this.
Those are views.
No. The country is suffering because intelligent young men and women like yourself are so scared of saying the truth. You are trying to be politically correct, and I'm not going to accept that.
Unless you place the evidence on the table.
The evidence is there. I am
just put the
Can I give it? Okay, this is the table.
You have
Okay,
to show the evidence.
Listen to me.
Because we also want evidence here too.
Can I ask you a question?
Please.
Do you know that Mr. Museveni is going to be wearing a hat on the ballot paper, or don't you know?
That is what the
No,
Electoral Commission.
hold on. Do you know? Just say yes or no. Just say yes or no. No, well, let us not reduce this to an argument.
No. I'm not going to argue. But this campaign is about you, not about President Museveni. So you stay.
My brother.
And,
Now you see. That is the problem that we are getting. Martin Luther King said the world is suffering not because of the deeds of the evil people, but because of the silence and complacency of the good people like yourself. I ask you a question, and the answer is yes or no. Are you aware that I was stopped from wearing a hat on a ballot paper? Yes or no?
The answer is yes. So if we could
Thank you. You see, now you're trying to run away from that. I understand. I understand, and I sympathize with you.
No,
Fortunately or unfortunately, Uganda has people like me who will not keep quiet.
Yes, but
okay?
we have to balance the discussion. If me,
I understand.
If President Museveni has to be in the studio, but you
My
have to
brother,
stay in your line.
my
Now,
brother,
honorable.
all lines are my lines, all lines are your lines, okay? Forget this is so and so's line. No, man, that is not the kind of new Uganda we want. We want a Uganda where we are free to talk about things. Wrong is wrong, no matter who says it or who does it.
As long as you have the evidence and it's within the law. So if we could move to the question that you were responding to, Honorable Kyagulanyi.
I'm responding to a question of bias,
Exactly.
okay? And I am putting it to you, Noel, because you were saying that this man has no facts, and this is Kyagulanyi Sentamu Obini in the studio, and I'm responsible for everything that I am saying. So if you could let me say it.
Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. The Electoral Commission is biased because one candidate is treated in a special way because it has double standards, okay? One candidate is allowed to wear a hat while the other is not allowed to wear a hat. One candidate comes and nominates and drives away, and me, I come and nominate and I am arrested in the nomination ground. And you think that is not double standards? So when one Ugandan calls in and complains about the bias of the Electoral Commission, please don't shut them up. Anyway, the question was, how do we intend to go about that bias? President Idi Amin, while he was briefing the boxers that we are going to fight with white people, they complained to him. They said, Mr. President, whenever we go there, those white referees are biased. Even when we win on the unanimous decision, they cheat us and give out our fight. You know what Amin said? He said, knock them out. When you knock somebody out, they cannot cheat you. And that's exactly what we are going to do. We are going to knock Museveni out.
All right, but we also
Thank you
know
very
the
much.
fact that we have moved from that time of, we are now in a different, this is the 21st century.
Well, the farther back you look is the farther in front you see. There's nothing that has happened that is happening that has not happened before. Okay? You want to know where you're going? Look where you're coming from.
All right, let's move to the other responses because we do have to engage.
It's because you're trying to stop me from saying the painful truth. I'll say it to you. Yeah, a brother asked that I'm only talking about soldiers and police officers, but what about the security companies? Well, the security companies are private businesses, but as government, we should have a policy of a minimum wage. No Ugandan is supposed to overwork Ugandans with minimum pay. I mean, with peanuts. We should have a minimum wage, and this should benefit the housemaids, the security workers, etc. That will be discussed by Parliament. Do you have any formidable village structures? A brother asked. Well, my answer to you, my brother, is that this is a revolution, and the revolution is not planned. I'll give you an example. They asked about structures when we were running in Jadondo East. A member of Parliament, that means I won. Where were the structures? The people were the structures. NUP is only 3 months old, but it is giving a 35-year-old military dictatorship headache. How is that done? The people of Uganda are the structures. My main role is to make sure we open the eyes of the people and we empower them. I've said it before and I'm saying it again here on Radio Pacis, that you fellow Ugandans that are there, it is your duty to turn yourselves into other BobiWines, into other Kyagulanyis. There's nothing special about me other than seeing the truth and saying the truth and making sure that I multiply myself into you. I empty myself into your mind, and it is your duty to also empty yourself into as many people as possible. This is a revolution.
All right.
And finally, brother asked about unemployment. Well, because time is running, we might not go so much into how we're going to create the jobs, but we have undertaken to create at least 5 million jobs in our first term of office. I thank you.
Thank you. And we will really follow you up on the 5 million jobs.
Sure.